Good morning. It's December 6th, so that means it's the 6th day of Vlogmas. For me, it's Jingle Ball Day. I have 2 classes this afternoon. I have a lot of things I would like to get done before that, but it might be an easy morning. I woke up with a horrible headache. I actually got up really late because my head hurts. Took some ibuprofen. I'm gonna have my coffee after I drink my full 16 ounces of water. I think I might be dehydrated. And then I have lots of prep to do for the Jingle Ball. I have some fun projects to show you. I'll show you what I bought in the shopping haul at the Jingle Ball. So let's get this day started. So I just reorganized all of my December daily. I was super inspired. So last night I was working on something and I was watching a Tim Holtz video where he was doing Christmas makes, and he was talking about having all of your supplies together. And it's something I have been thinking about. I've heard him say this before, but I have this tray. It's been sitting on my ledge to go downstairs, but I had seen it earlier this week and thought I really should put all my December daily stuff in here. I think I still have a couple things I need to put in here, but that way I can just grab everything from a tray. It's been in piles, it's been moved from here to there, and that doesn't really work very well. So I time-lapsed me reorganizing everything, all of my little pieces, before I show the whole tray. So like a lot of my small-ish pieces, I just put in some of the sheet protectors and I reorganized them by theme. So tags that were part of a 12 by 12 sheet, I cut them all apart so I don't have to do that when I go to make my page. Journaling tags are in this one. These are bigger journaling tags. Then this has like lots of little pieces. Whoops, that thing keeps trying to fall out and escape. But this I reorganized by theme. So kind of rosettes, and then I put like all of my little hearts and holly leaves that are individual and snowflakes in this one. Bigger images like some little tickets, tags, postage stamps, and anything with words. In this one, all of my Mickey and Minnie images, some banner images. This is just kind of how I thought about reorganizing all of my big like title type words in here, and then smaller ones that are more collage style down there. And then these are like bigger collage things. And that way I took everything out of all of the individual packages and reorganized it. So I also put my extra Canon selfie printer cartridge and paper in here, and I'll put my printer in here as well. It's in the other room. I did cut apart the sheets of paper with the 4x4 and 3x4 squares so that I can just grab these, look through them and go, or if I want to use the back, I can use the back. I didn't put those in a sheet protector, but I could. And then my 12x12 sheets that are still a full sheet are just sticking up and out. This section has like sticker sheets and my extra sheet protectors. So it's going to sit on my shelf next to my Christmas tree in my craft room, and it is going to be a lot more usable because everything is in its own place. I really think that is the key to success with this December daily project. So that is my update on December daily. Haven't done today's page at all. Don't know if I will. I have to get Jingle Ball stuff going first. I have to go get, I think my first class starts in 30 minutes. I need to go get all of my stuff for the pairs to finish. So I'm going to go do that. I'm also going to get all of my hands-on design stuff together for that class because it happens right afterwards so I can do my back-to-back classes. Hi everyone, I'm opening up the Advent Calendar Day 6. So let's take a peek what is inside. I have a lot of stuff here on my desk because we're going to go over a lot of things today. So it's a long window today. I'm going to bet it's an embossing folder. Yay. So it's a little skinny embossing folder. Spellbinders does this for the Advent box. So that's going to be the design, which is really cute. And I'm just going to put this with the rest of my stuff, and hopefully I can get to these on Monday. I'm not going to worry about it for the rest of this weekend, but that was what was inside for today. Paper crafters, are you opening up your box? Drop me a note. Let me know, are you making stuff with the daily window openings? I would love to hear from you. And I want to talk about the Simon Says Stamp blog hop that is going on today to celebrate the December release. So this is relevant to stitching because my projects were all stitching today, not paper crafting. They have a set of 5 new dies. So we have a stitching birdie, the stitching holly and berries, the stitching mitten, this one's my favorite I think, the penguin, and the snowman. So the penguin, mitten, and snowman are my absolute favorites. And they're stitching dies made to work with a die cutting machine. And I received a question this week about how do you cut those dies? It was in reference to the Tim Holtz Snowflake. I'm going to show cutting. I'll show cutting the rosette actually, and I will show cutting a felt shape using these dies because the dies are exactly the same with my die cutting machine here after bits. So that will be in this video today just as a demo because a lot of times I leave that out of my videos simply because, well, in this case, I had prepped all of my felt ornaments off camera. But I realize I have a lot of people who might not be familiar with a die cutting machine, so I will show that. But let me show you what I made with these. So here is our snowman ornament. They're little felt ornaments. I'm going to pop them on my little guest room tree. That room is done in kind of blues and creams and whites and grays. And I thought this was so stinking cute. Now, the thing I did different, especially for anyone who doesn't watch these videos, but I want to talk about this because I utilized a lot of kind of our Cross Stitch World supplies. So the die set actually comes with little pieces you can glue on for buttons, eyes, nose, and cheeks, and scarf. I actually did I cut a thin piece of the wool felt and tied it around his neck and tacked it in place and cut some little fringe because I don't like piecing those pieces together as much if I have a dimensional item. If he was flat to a pillow, probably would have utilized those. And then all of the buttons are just another button company. And this was a pack I got free. All of the little buttons on the pocket down the center. These were all some freebie I got from Just Another Button Company when I placed an order a year or two ago. I bought the carrot noses. I have an assortment of them from Just Another Button Company, and I thought that would be perfect. I also used the 3mm black buttons for the eyes because they're my favorite size for little teeny tiny eyes. I sewed everything onto the front panel before I stitched the whole thing together. And then his pocket doesn't come with the die set. This is actually a window from my felt stitching dies with Spellbinders, the Acorn House. It's a window die that I flipped upside down to make a pocket. And then I just embroidered a little pine branch coming out of his pocket. Super cute. I also incorporated some white size 11 seed beads from Hobby Lobby on all of my images. For the cheeks, I did use the felt pieces, but you can see I just stitched with long stitches over the felt to couch them in place. But I love him. He's so fun and cute. All of these also are done in the same color scheme so that they can all work together. Let's talk about our penguin next. You can see I did the same sort of idea by embellishing his tummy piece with a embroidered pine branch, added those little mini buttons, added the seed beads, and then for his face, did the same thing for the cheeks with couching his cheek pieces in place with my floss. Use those little micro 3mm buttons. But then for his nose, I did use the felt piece, but I embroidered over it with my embroidery floss. It gives it amazing texture, makes it poofy, so cute and fun. And he also doesn't come with a scarf, but I thought our snowman was so cute. So here's what the package looks like. I thought the scarf was so cute on Frosty here that he needed one as well. So I just cut another 1/2 inch wide strip of felt and made a little scarf, and I did tack it in place. You can see that there's a little tacking stitch there just to hold it in place so that it doesn't pop off. If you just folded it over, it would eventually pop off. Then on the back, I forgot to do this on my snowman, or I would have done it on him too. I love on my felt pieces to put a little heart on the bum. I use this heart, any heart die will do, but I did use a die from my snowman for Spellbinders, and stay tuned. I do have some stuff coming for him next week, I think, but we're going to show him. Those dies are not new. They came out last year, but we're going to share some new inspiration with those. So here's our snowman and our penguin. I just love them so, so much. Little birdie. He also has the cute little pine branch on his wing and all of the little buttons and things so that he really matches. I said this in my video, I wish I would have, I used a 4mm button, but what I wish I would have done was maybe do a little eyelashes or something just to dress him up a little bit more, but he is so cute, so sweet. And what I love could be for other seasons and occasions. And really our penguin could too. Maybe you want to give some pink little hearts or something, do something Valentine's-y, or, you know, honestly, any of these could be left out for winter because none of them scream Christmas. Even though this definitely, I made these Christmassy as ornaments and whatnot, but if you do a little winter tree, these would be darling tucked in with that. And then the mitten, which I just love. I've done multiple different mittens over the years. I do have a playlist on my channel. I'm going to put it right over here. I will link to my felt stitching playlist. You can go back and catch some of those videos if you're interested. But this one features the mitten, which I love. This one is a little different than any others. It has a scallop layer in between. I did draw on my little pine branches and did some embroidery. You can see the bigger, just another button company snowflake there, all of the cute little mini buttons, seed beads. And then I took the holly and the berries, and I didn't use the berries, and I only used the smallest leaf. I cut 2 of those, 2 pieces for each, stitched the leaves, took a button from my stash and used that as the berry instead, and then I glued those in place. So super, super cute, fun, little felty ornaments that I can add to my tree, but I felt like that was relevant to Vlogmas and also to my stitching content. A lot of my viewers have been asking for more felt stitching content, so I hope you enjoyed today's video on my channel. It's an edited video, and stay tuned because I'm going to show you die cutting with the machine. So for those of you who aren't familiar, because you will need dies to die cut these shapes, it's not a template that you download. There are lots of those out there, so you can definitely go that route. But what is great is a lot of these have stitching holes in them, makes it super easy to stitch together really fast and fun. I mentioned this in my video, but if you have grandkids or your own kids or nieces, nephews, whatever, and you like to do an ornament for them. I actually have done quite a few ornaments for my kiddos over the years, and I definitely need to, I think last year I stunk it up real bad, didn't do anything. I think I need to definitely do that, and that will be part of my video upcoming here either next week or the week after, using a combination of my dies and probably Beez design dies. I will put my favorite links to felt stitching down below as far as felt, which my favorite source for felt is Beez Design. They have some felt stitching dies, Spellbinders has some felt stitching dies, and Simon Says Stamp has some. They had some years ago, so you're gonna see some older content if you look at my playlist. I mean, like 2016, almost 10 years ago now. So some of those, and if those are still in stock, I'll let you know. I did a video here a couple years ago with some of those, just reusing them again. There's a darling reindeer, and I did like a little owl. And in fact, I think my reindeer is on my tree, and we'll talk about that when I do my home tours. Okay, everybody, so we're going to talk about die cut machines. I had a question from one viewer, but I know that that is not the only one who would like to know. I am going to share, this is my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine. This is the one I use almost daily. I do have the big girl too. She is an 8.5 inch wide opening, so she'll cut a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. But this is the one that sits on my desk. This is the one I use all of the time. It does come in other colors. This is the lilac shimmer. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it has a holiday bundle right now. I'll pop that. It'll say here on the screen. I'll pop it down below as well. I'll pop to this one. It does come with a purple handle. This is called the My Turn handle. You can see it hangs down past the machine. It is made to hang off the edge of your desk, and it has a comfort grip handle. It is fantastic, but I'll be honest, I have used the die cut machine for years and years and years without the My Turn handle, but it is fantastic. So I will say that. I am going to show two ways of die cutting. We're going to use the stitching dies that I showcased and showed you in today's video. I'm going to cut them from felt. The process is exactly the same. The dies are the same as well. And I also am going to take that snowflake rosette die. This is that free gift with purchase die from Tim Holtz through Simon Says Stamp if you purchase $30 or more of Tim Holtz branded product. And I don't know, can I get 3 of these guys out of here? Probably not, because I cut something out of the corner of that. Let me grab a different, let's do this one. So I just have some Tim Holtz pattern paper here. I like it because it's got this really fun grungy look. Although these peppermint sticks would look super cute in a rosette, wouldn't they? Okay, so let's die cut those first. So here is my machine. I'm going to tilt my camera just a little bit because I do need to hang this off the edge of my table, as I mentioned, because I have that handle on. Okay, so for a die cut machine, it comes with this. It also comes with some adapters for embossing folders, but the standard cutting sandwich is a platform A, a platform B, and then you'll have 2 cutting plates. This is what I use like 99% of the time. So then you're going to put one of your cutting plates down on top. So it's an A, B, C. Okay, our other C cutting plate, we're going to set aside for just a minute. Then we're going to take our paper, cardstock, felt, whatever it might be. In this case, we're going to do paper. We are going to lay our die on here. And if it's a straight edge die, it does work better if it goes in at an angle. I'm going to put cutting plate C number 2 on top, and we're going to roll that through. And I'm just cranking the handle. I think you can see me a little bit in the picture there. So then when you pull this out, you have your die cut shape. This is going to make a super cute rosette, you guys. So then there are score lines in this particular die. So all you would do is fold it back and forth, and then I will pop that link to the video where I've used this. Actually, I think it's been in all of my videos with the promotion that's going on for Dicember at Simon Says Stamp. So when you put 3 of these together, look how cute that's going to be. So let me just cut the other 2 really quick. So then all I do is I'm going to line it up again. I think, let's go ahead and cut down here first. Again, I'm just going to tilt it at an angle. Straight edges like it better if a corner goes in first. Whoops. We're going to crank that through. And for a rosette, you need 3 pieces. So I'm just going to cut all of them. I'm not putting it together here on camera, but then I'll have them and I can do what I want with that. So let's just do that. And another little tip for paper, if you need your cardstock or paper or your die to stay on the paper where you want it, you can use a little repositionable tape like so. And that's going to hold it right there while you're cutting. And then it peels right off. Okay, so that is a paper cutting tutorial as far as dies for paper. Now, a lot of dies will cut both. This die right here is made out of the same stuff for the stitching die. So let's just cut a couple of snowman bodies so you guys can see that. And I also have some wool felt here from Binsey Design. You'll just place your die right on that felt and roll it through. I'm just gonna roll it back. Normally, I do not suggest rolling back and forth with felt, but I won't do that again because it can distort the holes. But see how it cuts out those stitching holes? These ones that aren't popped out, it doesn't mean it didn't cut. It just means they stick in there a little bit. When you push your needle through, they will pop out, or you can take something like a paper clip or a thicker needle and pop them all out before stitching. Full transparency, I don't. I am lazy that way. So let me just cut the other body piece. So again, I'm here. I might as well have all of my snowman pieces together so I can stitch up another snowman. So easy as that. My die cutting machine, I was telling someone in my comments, I believe, this is my most invaluable tool. Use my die cutting machine every single day. This is probably my 6th or 7th manual die cutting machine. I have had many, the Spellbinders Platinum, and any die cut machine from Spellbinders, any of the manual die cutting machines from Spellbinders are my very, very favorite die cut machines. Highly recommend. No, not everyone will probably go through as many machines as I do, but this is my full-time job. I am really hard on them. I use them so much. And so, you know, I've been through, I think this is about my 3rd of this. Now, the last one, I boogered it up. It was my fault. But that's a story for another day. So I hope you enjoyed that little tutorial. Let's go talk about what I bought at the Jingle Ball. Let's talk about my progress on my classes, how far I got. I'll share that with you. And then I'll wrap up today's video. it has been a super long day. I had a very long day yesterday, a long work day. Did not get enough sleep. So, let's talk about Jingle Ball. I have not participated in anything. I took my classes today, 2 of them. Did not even remember that the Stacy Nash class was this evening, which is fine. I'll watch the replay. So, let's talk classes. Let's talk what I purchased. Let's talk an Enable Vision, and then let's do our giveaway for today. So classes, here's where I'm at on the Annie Beez red pairs class. I sewed 1 pair together. I have not filled it yet, but I did get this done. Full disclosure, I did not prep. I'm not prepared at all this year for my classes for finishing. I had not pulled background fabric, so I spent a good 40 minutes of class auditioning fabric. I went with a Tilda fabric. I think it'll look really pretty. I did a cotton fabric. I'm not doing velveteen for mine, and I'm using the 36 count Peppermint Sparkle by Fabrics by Stephanie, and I did use the called for Belle Soie in icing to stitch mine, and I hope to get these done tomorrow. I'm going to bed. As soon as this video is edited, I'm going to bed tonight. I'm not stitching. I'm not going to a stitching room. I'm not feeling 100% still. And so I think I just need to go to bed and get some good sleep. So, this is where I'm at. I have cut I got all of them traced and cut. I just need to sew them, obviously put them together. I bought a scrap bag of the wool when I was at Quilter Station in September, which I think is going to be perfect for stems and leaves. And I will work on those tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'd like to get these displayed. So there's that. All my fault that I did not get very far. It's a whole thing. And then I rolled right from that class into Kathy of Hands-On Design, Stand Up for Santa. Luckily, that was a nice, 2.5 hour class. So it's been great. I do have my base cut, and I may, it depends on how long this takes to edit, try to put my base on here. I need to put a little more stuffing on this. Some fell out. But here's where I'm at on Stand Up for Santa. And he is in progress. No herringbone stitch around the edge yet, or the base is not on, but we're getting closer and closer all the time. I love him. I think he's going to be really cute. I have fussed with him a lot. That's the other thing. I have fussed and fussed and fussed with him, smoothing out the edges. I actually unstuffed the whole thing because I saw it wasn't even that pointy, and I tried to tell myself I wouldn't care, and that was a lie. So I had to turn him back inside out, and I restitched a little area over here, and then I've ironed and I've smoothed some more. I think the herringbone stitch will give that nice finish that I want, but that is Mr. Stand Up for Santa by Hands-On Design, and Kathy is gifting us a cute little tree chart where you can cut it from some wool felt, and you can tack the little tree onto here so that he's holding a dimensional tree in the other hand, which is very cute. And I might do that. I like it, or hear me out. I just showed you in this video, I might die cut a tree and embroider on it and then stick it on here. So really fun. I am enjoying it. I think I'm going to sleep on it and come back tomorrow. I'm just not, like I said, I'm not feeling 100% and I'm tired. So, which never is a good combination. When I'm tired, it's never, when things go wrong, it's always 100 times worse when you're tired. Okay. Let's talk the charts that I purchased from the Jingle Ball. So I did get the Jingle Bell Baubles book. I only printed out the chart for Kathy of Hands on Design right now, just because I know that I want to stitch this Santa, and that is the cover of the book this year. I just think he's so cute. So I printed that out. Beth of Heartstring Samplery, I really liked this. And if you guys follow Lori Holt, where she's talking about her bowl full of stitches that are stitched in green, kind of monochromatic, she did that video last year. And I thought that was such a fun idea. I think this would be a really fun addition to that. So this is Sweet Hymns of Joy. Then I believe this is the complimentary free chart from Beth. If I'm not mistaken. And I downloaded that because that's super pretty. Okay, from Stacy Nash. What did I buy from Stacy Nash? So I have an idea, and I purchased the Christmas Townhouse sewing book. So this is what this looks like. If you love the gingerbread from last year, here is the townhouse. Really cute. So I got that one. Also, there's a sewing roll pattern. Probably not going to finish it as a sewing roll. Just telling you right now. I mean, maybe, but it's really cool. But this is the Santa Claus is Coming to Town sewing roll. I purchased this one as well. And then, of course, the new animal cracker. And what's her name? Sugar, the skunk. That sweater is everything. So cute. From Teresa Kogut, I purchased her Midnight Santa stocking. Let's see. There is that. Look at that Santa. How cute is that? From Hands on Design, the complimentary chart for the Jingle Ball attendees. Let me fold. Actually, let me just fold this guy in half. Is this right here? Absolutely gorgeous. And if you're stitching any of Kathy's other designs this year, like her design from the ornament box from 141 Design, this matches perfectly, as does her Jingle Ball Bubble ornament. So look, these with that would be so good together. Then the extra bonus chart that comes in this next chart would also go with those beautifully. I got the Christmas Tide sampler. This was part of the Homespun Needlework group. It was an exclusive a year or so ago. And Kathy is selling it in the Jingle Ball only at this time. I love, love, love that deer border in here. So cute. Honestly, this is just such a beautiful design. And then in the chart, Kathy gives the little bonus for that ornament, which again would coordinate back to everything else so beautifully. I like a good set, don't you guys? Okay. And then hold please. I'm doing a little rearrangeroo. Doesn't everybody do a rearrangeroo? I did not buy the kit for this, but I did get this ornament from hands-on design as well. Absolutely beautiful. Love that oval finish for that. And then there's full instructions for finishing on the back. And my favorite thing from the Jingle Ball shop this year is it's called Gather Round the Manger. I am not going to stitch mine on blue simply because blue does not match my decor. But see down there, you can stitch it all as one piece. I will stitch mine as one piece and get it framed. I love this so much. This will be a start for me this year. And in the chart, it is charted. It shows you how to take the border so you can stitch it all as one piece, and then you can put the whole nativity in. So that is my purchases from the Jingle Ball. I am a little sad that I have not partaken in anything. I literally have not watched anything. Other than my classes, I have not gone to a stitching room. I've not done speed dating. So tomorrow I hope to do some of that. I had that big felt project that I put on my blog and had a video for. And then, you know, just with all my other stuff, I was a little overwhelmed. That is good though. That's good. That's lots of fun new charts, exclusives from the Jingle Ball. So that's always a good time. Let's do our giveaway for today. So today is my last day of Brenda Gervais giveaways for charts that I bought duplicates of so that I would have giveaways to share with all of you. And that is snowman in the forecast. I love these. I think they're so stinking cute. Very much would go fantastic with my little felty ornaments that I made and shared earlier in today's video. So if you would like to win this chart, please be a US resident, please be over 18, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and use the keyword forecast somewhere in your comment. Please leave your comment by the date shown here on the screen for a chance to win. Thank you guys so much for participating in my Vlogmas giveaways and for your excitement, kind comments, and everything else. I truly appreciate you all more than I can say. All right, my friends, I want to go get this video edited and up for you today, so I am going to sign off for now. I hope you are all jingle balling if that's what you're doing this weekend, stitching, sewing, whatever it is, paper crafting. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly love sharing creativity with this amazing community of crafters. A special thank you goes out to my wonderful Patreon members. I appreciate you all so much. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, you'll find the link in the video description below. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do and enjoy exclusive content, behind the scenes updates, and extra perks. There's something for everyone, and we'd love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good morning and welcome to Vlogmas Day 6. It's December 6th, 2025, and for me it's Jingle Ball Day. I have 2 classes today, so I'm going to take you with me to... You've been asking, a lot of my followers have been asking for more stitching, felt stitching related content. Good grief. Can I talk today? No. This is my Spellbinders. Okay, so I'm going to switch my camera and I am going to show 2 different things of die cutting depending on, well, that is not what I intended to do, is it?